Hey everybody, Barry with Christenson Transportation, where the truckers truck and safety takes priority. Today I want to talk a little bit about pre-trip inspections and things that we use those for that help us when things go wrong. And I think probably the biggest thing is Christenson has an abnormal amount of trailers in their trailer pool. The ratio is well above the national average on how many trucks do you have, how many trailers do you have, how are you utilizing them, how many times are you cycling them, how much are they sitting, all things that people use to plan their equipment purchases and the life cycle of their equipment. But it's also there maybe out of whack on purpose. We try to provide a lot of trailers so that our drivers have every opportunity to drop and hook whenever possible. We provide them to customers so the customers have trailers to load when they have freight available. They may keep the product on there as a temporary storage that they, may or may not have an agreement with us to rent those or pay for storage fees. So it's more than just buying trailers and trucks. It's about what are we going to do with them. We're going to provide this opportunity and benefit to our contractors so they're not sitting and waiting to load and unload. Or we're going to available for the shipper so their processes move more efficiently. The downside of that is drivers typically, if you're live unloading and loading, that's your trailer, and you know all about that trailer, and you know what's wrong with that trailer, and you know what's been done to that trailer. Excuse me. When we start dropping and hooking, we get a little lax, and we tend to not spend the quality time with each piece of equipment that we need to. We have outside vendors maybe provide spotting services for big customers, and it's not the customer's issue, but the spotting company may back one of our trailers into another one. They may drop a trailer and bend our landing gear. They may put a forklift through the roof. And when we're in this hurry up and go process of dropping a load, picking up a trailer and leaving, we don't do a proper pre-trip inspection. So let's say I pull into a shipper, I'm picking up an empty to go somewhere and load, and I just hook up, I do a cursory look around, take off, get 5 miles, 500 miles, who knows, and the sun comes up and we're looking around, we've got a hole through the roof, we've got wet product, or we've got a hole in the side with some significant damage. There's no way that I can go back to that shipper or receiver and say, look what you did to my trailer, you need to pay me, or the spotting company dropped it with 40,000 pounds of product and bent my landing gear. We lose that opportunity when we leave the facility. So it is paramount that we do a good inspection. And probably the most frustrating excuse I get is, well, it was dark out. There's countries where it's dark 6 months of the year. Get a flashlight. Because, in our transition away from company drivers to all lease drivers, there's contracts that we sign. There's damage responsibilities that we agree to as an independent contractor. And, the last thing I want to do is start charging people. You pull into a place, pick up, go down the road, and you've got a mud flap bracket bent hanging off. The only person that I can blame now is the contractor. So do yourself a favor. Inspect this equipment. Immediately notify Christenson personnel as well as people at the facility so that they can recognize that the damage occurred there. And it helps me to know what is the process. What if I go to shipper A and I pull up and there's a gate guard and they come out and they look at my empty trailer or my loaded trailer and they inspect it and I say, okay, go go drop it in lot A. We come back a week later and pick it up, and it's got a big hole. Well, it's pretty easy for me to say, we've never left your facility. You did an inspection when we arrived. This was not there, or it would have been pointed out, and we wouldn't have been able to drop that equipment in there since it can't be loaded now. That is how we protect each other in these situations. So get a flashlight. You've got buttons in the trucks that are so sophisticated they will cycle every light, every brake light, every turn signal, every marker light. If you do a pre-trip, you can just walk, and it just starts at the driver's headlight, and it does the turn signal, the high beams, the low beams. It moves to the passenger side. It moves down to the trailer, all around the back of the trailer, to the brake lights. All that stuff can be tested in pitch black. In fact, it's probably easier in pitch black. Your flashlight is good for things for looking under and make sure your fifth wheel is hooked up and secured and locked properly. You don't want to drop a trailer. And we see that the first time somebody pulls out and they turn right or left, and now the trailer goes right off onto the tandems and typically onto the road. The one thing we don't find is that's readily findable is somebody else has come in and backed into the top or the bottom rail, and we start talking about rails on trailers. We're talking trailers are basically, they're like pitching a tent. You take one pole out of the tent, the thing collapses. Well, you take a couple ribs out of the bottom of a trailer, you put a structural damage in the top rail, the nose rail, the bottom rail, and it's not a patch job. It's a complete section that we've got to replace, and that's thousands of dollars. And I do not want to charge the driver. I want to hold the people accountable that did the damage, if at all possible. So get the tools, get a flashlight, and get one that's they make all kinds now, but they have USB flashlights. It's not like your battery's going to run out. You just plug it back in and recharge that thing. Keep it always charged. Get a headlamp. Walk around there. Look for flat tires. Look for bent rims. Look for fifth wheels. Look for damage in the trailer. Especially if you don't want me to have you assist in paying for that. So this is not a gripe. This is an informative deal. I'll tell you how we need to cover ourselves, and also remind you of the investment that Christenson has in having a big trailer pool, going after customers that require these drop trailers, going after customers that do drop and hook and take care of all this side work when we're not there wasting our time. So let's respect that, let's appreciate that, and let's honor that, and let's protect it and protect ourselves. So do us all a favor, do your due diligence, spend that extra 15 minutes, do a good pre-trip. Trust me, you're not running yourself out of logs. We're not booking ourselves up on the miles. We need to be efficient and productive as possible when we get the opportunity to be. So thanks for what you do. I don't want you to think I'm griping. I'm just, sometimes these things come and it's like, well, guess I better tell the fleet about that one. Just to keep it on your mind, just to let you know how relevant it is, how often it happens, and how easy it is to prevent it and to protect us if it does happen. So thanks for doing that. Thanks for working with me. And the other note, I'm running on, but do it for your fellow driver. You don't want to drop a trailer in that's got damage. You don't want to pick one up that's got damage you didn't do. You're going to have to spend your time getting it fixed. And it's not fair for others to leave that to you. So do unto others as you would have done unto you, as my mother used to say. Thanks, Mom. So be safe. Thanks for being here, and keep up the good work.